This year, the quiz is powered by Verbal Transformers, and our headline sponsor is RMG Ghana Limited. Our gold sponsor is Big Stationery Ghana. For our supporting media partner, we have Hot FM 93.9. The National Core Subjects Quiz this year is on the theme Public Education, an essential factor for significant impact, growth and development of Ghana. For updates on the National Core Subjects Quiz, follow us on all social media platforms. You can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. Just search for the National Core Subjects Quiz, like our pages, follow us, and subscribe. You get to see videos, pictures, as well as any other information that is related to the National Core Subjects Quiz. So far, for the third edition of this quiz, we've had our preliminary stages, and now we are in the round of 16. Today we have University Junior High School, Cape Coast, and VALS Preparatory School. They'll be contesting, so we get a winner who will join Mystical Rose Academy, New Order Preparatory School, Bediako Memorial Institute, EP Basic School, and Greenfield Junior High School in the quarterfinal stage. University Junior High School is a school we met this year. All the way from Cape Coast, they came around through their preliminary stages. They proved themselves, and now they are here with us. For VALS Preparatory School, we saw them last year. They were actually the first runner-up of the competition, so that means they held the second place. But they are here again this year, hoping to win the trophy for the third edition of the National Core Subjects Quiz. So before we begin, I'd like to ask our contestants from VALS Preparatory School, do you think you can take home the trophy this year?
We are absolutely sure we can take it home this year.
You're absolutely sure you can, okay. And University Junior High School, I'm sure they're also here to take home the trophy. But I just want to ask, do you think you can take home the trophy this year?
If it's by Jehovah's grace, then yes.
If it's by Jehovah's grace, then yes. That's what you said. So it means that if it's not His grace, then you're not taking it. Okay. We'd like our contestants to introduce themselves. I'll begin with VALS Preparatory School.
I am Director Ewa.
My name is Sally Sedek from VALS Preparatory School.
Thank you very much. And on my left, we have
Vera Pia.
Adaisi and Joseph.
audience. This is a good place to clap for them. And my name is Na Ayikaide Tego. I will be your quiz mistress. So for today's contest, there will be 4 rounds. The first round will have questions on English and social studies. The second round will have questions on general knowledge. The third round will have our swift response and odd select. And our fourth round will have the logical illustrations as well as our verbal puzzles. Contestants, for a major question, you have 15 seconds to provide your answer. 15 seconds. Within the 15 seconds, you have 3 attempts, unless stated otherwise. However, if there's a bonus, you have only 5 seconds. I believe that's clear. VALS Preparatory, I believe that's clear. University Junior High. We begin. To both schools, I'm going to read out a sentence. Within the sentence, there's going to be a blank space. You have to tell me the right pronoun that will fit into that sentence. Do we get it? The appropriate pronoun. I'll begin with VALS Preparatory School. Janet showed me the bag that she bought from the store.
Which?
Which, that's right. University Junior High. That is the man that car was involved in a near fatal accident.
Whose car was involved in?
Whose car was involved? That's correct. VALS Preparatory. To dash it may concern. Whom? That's right. University Junior High. Dash girls are very happy with the dogs.
Those girls.
Those girls, that's correct. VALS Preparatory School, your question. The surroundings within which man, animals, and plants live is known as?
Environment.
Come again.
Natural environment.
No.
Physical environment.
Physical environment, that's right. University Junior High. The process whereby the natural vegetation cover of the environment is destroyed by the activities of man is?
Deforestation.
No.
Desertification.
Come again, now to play.
Desertification.
I'll give it to you. The right pronunciation, I believe, is desertification. VALS Preparatory. W.B. Du Bois was made a Ghanaian citizen by President Kwame Nkrumah for his good work in Pan-Africanism. What form of citizenship is this?
Honorary confinement.
That's right. University Junior High. The right to life and freedom of speech are examples of what type of rights?
Natural rights.
Natural rights, that's correct. This brings us to the end of round 1. At the end of round 1, VALS Preparatory School and University Junior High School Cape Coast had 12 points each. We move on to round 2. This will have questions on general knowledge. I'll begin with University Junior High School. What famous scientist was awarded the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics for his work on theoretical physics?
Professor Loti.
No. A bonus to VALS Preparatory.
Albert Einstein.
That's right. Your major question, VALS Preparatory. Who invented the electric generator?
Abraham Bell.
No. A bonus to University Junior High?
Adam Winston.
No. The answer is Michael Faraday. Michael Faraday. University Junior High, your question. The bones that make up your spine are known as?
Spinal cord.
No.
Vertebrates.
Vertebrae, that's right. VALS Preparatory. The innermost part of bones contains?
Muscles.
No.
Tissues.
No. You have one for attempt. Okay. A bonus to University Junior High.
Cartilages.
No. The innermost part of bones contains the marrow. The marrow. University Junior High, your major question. The wettest climatic region in Ghana is?
Southwestern Equatorial.
That's correct. VALS preparatory. In the wet semi-equatorial region of Ghana, the heaviest rainfall is recorded in which month?
June.
June, that's correct. University Junior High. The ratio between corresponding sides length of similar figures is called?
Range.
No.
Relation.
No. You have one more attempt. A bonus to VALS preparatory.
Scale factor.
No. The answer is the similarity ratio. Similarity ratio. VALS preparatory. A triangle with two congruent sides and angles is known as?
Isosceles.
That's correct. This brings us to the end of round 2. At the end of round 2, University Junior High School, Cape Coast, had 6 points. And VALS Preparatory School had 7 points. We move on to round 3. Round 3 is in 2 parts. We have the swift response and the odd select. We'll begin with the swift response. Contestants, for this you have 10 seconds to solve and provide your answers. If there's a bonus, you have only 3 seconds. Okay, I see we are all ready, so we'll begin. VALS Preparatory School. Factorize completely. X squared minus 25.
5 outside the bracket. X squared minus 5.
No. A bonus to University Junior High.
X minus 12. X minus 5 in one bracket, X plus 5 in another bracket.
That's right. Your major question. Simplify 2x minus y in a bracket and 2x plus y in another bracket.
4x squared minus y squared.
That's correct. VALS Preparatory School. Decrease 120 by 10%.
108.
108, that's right. University Junior High. Decrease 150 by 20%.
120.
120. Now this is a preamble to both schools. You have to tell me the valency of the following elements. The valency of the following elements. VALS Preparatory, your element is carbon.
2.
No.
1.
No.
4.
4, that's correct. University Junior High, your element is argon.
It has no valency.
It has no valency. Now we move on to the odd select. For this, I'll read out a set of words. You have to pick the odd one out and tell me the reason why it is odd. If you're able to pick the odd one out and give me the right reason, you have a full point. However, if you are just able to give me the odd one out, you have 1 point. VALS Preparatory School. These are your words. Lithium, chlorine, calcium, sodium.
Chlorine, because it's a gas.
Come again.
Chlorine, because it's a gas.
I'll give it to you. Otherwise, we could say it's chlorine because it is a non-metal element, whereas the others are metals. University Junior High. These are your words. Verb, stanza, subject, object.
Stanza because it's used in poems.
I'll give it to you. So aside this reason, stanza is actually the odd one out because it's not part of a sentence. The others, that's the verb, the subject, and the object are parts of a sentence. This brings us to the end of round 3. At the end of round 3, VALS Preparatory School had 9 points. And University Junior High School Cape Coast had 13 points. We move on to the final round for today, round 4. Round 4 is also in 2 parts. We have our logical illustration and our verbal puzzles. We'll begin with the logical illustration. Contestants, I'm going to give you the illustration for today. You're not supposed to start until I ask you to, and you have 5 minutes. Also, you've all been given a sheet of paper. You're supposed to provide your answer on that paper. You have to provide your answer on that paper. I believe that's clear. So please come for today's illustration. Today's logical illustration. Without the aid of a diagram, describe an experiment to show that soil is made up of different particle sizes. Contestants, you have 5 minutes. I believe you're on the same page. You can start. Contestants, you have a minute more. Time is up. Please hand in your answers. Contestants, please present your answers on the board just as you have it on paper. For today's logical illustration, this is my solution. Without the aid of a diagram, describe an experiment to show that soil is made up of different particle sizes. So for scientific experiments, we all know that there's supposed to be a systematic approach. So everything has to go in an order. So, first of all, we'll have to state our aim. Then we have the materials needed, the method, our observation, and finally our conclusion. So the aim, to show that soil is made up of different particle sizes. Materials needed, sample of garden soil, a measuring cylinder or a gas jar, distilled water, sodium carbonate, stirring rod. The method, we have 5 steps. First of all, we have filled a measuring cylinder with garden soil. Secondly, we add water until the measuring cylinder is almost full. 3, we add our sodium carbonate to aid the separation of soil particles. 4, we stir or shake the mixture thoroughly. And finally, we place the measuring cylinder on a flat surface and allow the soil particles to settle for some time. Our observation will be that soil particles and the humus separate from each other. So the heaviest particles of gravels will be at the bottom. This will be followed by sand. Then we have our silt particles. The tiny clay particles will take a longer time to settle, so some remain suspended in water. Then our organic matter and humus floats on the surface of the water. So from our experiment, we will see that humus is at the top. We have our particles of clay, then the clay, then our silt comes, then the sand. But the fine sand will be before the coarse sand, and finally our gravel, which will be at the bottom. And our conclusion is, a sample of garden soil is made up of different soil particle sizes. University Junior High School. For their answer, an experiment to demonstrate that soil is made up of different particle sizes. They began with the steps. And for the steps, they started with gather tools and sample garden soil. Then put the measuring cylinder on a flat surface. Then they pour the garden soil into the measuring cylinder. They fill with clean water and stir with a stirring rod. And they leave undisturbed for a while. So if you had to go systematically, they don't score anything for that because they are not able to get the right steps. They move on to their observation, and they tell us that it will be observed that the more dense particles will settle at the bottom. From the less dense particles, we have humus particles. We have humus, particles of clay suspended in water, clay, silt, fine sand, coarse sand, and gravels. I'm going to give them a mark for the observation because they tell us that the more dense particles will settle at the bottom, and also they try to give us the way in which the particles will be arranged. So they begin with the humus, then the particles of clay suspended onto the gravels. And for their conclusion, they say it can be concluded that soil is made up of different particle sizes. I'll give them the mark for that. They end with their materials, which is incorrect. For a systematic experiment, you have your materials before you start the whole process. So in total, University Junior High School has 2 points. VALS Preparatory School. They began with the apparatus. So they have soil sample, measuring cylinder, stirring rod, bicarbonate of soda, and water. I'll give them the mark for that. And for their method, they begin with half fill a measuring cylinder with water, then they move on to fill the cylinder with the soil sample. They interchange the steps, so they don't get any points for that. Their third step is with the help of a stirring rod, stir the mixture, add the soda or bicarbonate of soda and stir, allow the setup to stand. Just as I stated earlier, for an experiment, it's systematic. Once you miss the first step, the second step, it affects your whole procedure. So for that aspect, they also don't score any points. Then for the observation, they state that the soil has separated into various layers and showing its particle sizes. I'll give them the mark for that. And their conclusion is that soil is made of different particle sizes. They have another mark for that. So in total, VALS Preparatory School has 3 points. We move on to the final part of round 4, our verbal puzzles. Contestants, for this, you need your bell. When I read out a set of clues and you are able to give me the right answer on the first clue, you have 5 points. On the second clue, you have 4 points. And on the third and any other clue, you have 3 points. When you're ready to give your answer, you need to alert me by pressing your bell. So can we hear the bell for VALS Preparatory School? Good. And for University Junior High? When you press your bell and the answer you give me is incorrect, you are out for that particular verbal puzzle. You can't answer anymore. I hope that's clear. VALS Preparatory, is that clear? We begin. We are organs of respiration. We are very thin and richly supplied with blood vessels. Yes.
Abdomen.
No. I continue with the clues. When water flows over us, oxygen dissolved in the water diffuses into the blood and carbon dioxide diffuses out. The organism that possesses us has scales as its outer covering. Yes. Please put into the microphone.
Gills.
Gills, that's correct. The answer after the third clue, they have 3 points. We were left with one final clue. I'll read it out. It also has a streamlined body that enables it to move rapidly and smoothly through water. Who are we? And we are indeed the gills. Our second verbal puzzle. When we talk about doing and action words, I am a category under them. I appear within clauses to add meaning. The kind of meaning I add is either grammatical or functional. Yes.
Air lovers.
No. I continue with the clues. In a sentence, I am used to express tenses or aspects. Sometimes I am used to lay emphasis. I usually accompany the main verb. Who am I? Yes.
Auxiliary verb.
Auxiliary verb, that's right. The answer after all the clues have been read, they have 3 points. Our final verbal puzzle. I was designed in 1956 and completed in 1957. I cover a distance of about 1,096 feet or 334 meters. I carry 2 lanes of vehicular traffic. Yes.
The Independence South.
No. I continue with the clues. I was opened 62 years ago. In Atimpoku in the eastern region of Ghana, I span across the Volta River. What am I? Yes.
The abdomen brain.
The abdomen brain. The answer that all the clues have been read, they have 3 points. This brings us to the end of round 4. For updates on the National Core Subjects Quiz, follow us on all social media platforms. On Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube. Just search for the National Core Subjects Quiz, like our pages, subscribe and follow us. Then you'll be able to find all videos, pictures, and any other information related to the National Core Subjects Quiz. At the end of round 4, VALS Preparatory School had 6 points. And University Junior High School, Cape Coast, had 8 points. Before we hear the final score for today, contestants would like to hear from you. Anything you have to say to us? So I'll begin with VALS Preparatory, Sadiq and Loretta.
So far the competition has been great, and we did our best.
Sadiq?
Good competition.
That's all? Okay, thank you very much. Ajwa and Joseph, let's hear from you.
It's really been a nice competition, and we thank you, the organizers, for giving us such a nice opportunity.
Thank you too for being here with us today. At the end of today's contest, University Junior High School, Cape Coast, had 39 points. And VALS Preparatory School had 34 points. Both schools, we are glad you came here today. VALS Preparatory, unfortunately, this is where it ends. We hope to see you again next year. And to University Junior High School, congratulations. You're moving on to the quarter-final stage of the 3rd edition of the National Core Subjects Quiz. And I have been your quiz mistress. Thank you.